Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash, the honors to my elders and apostles of Great Millstone. And third of all, I want to give a peace and safety to the hopeful elect out there, the brothers that push this truth, the truth of the King James Bible, and all truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the globe. Alright, so I just want to do a short lesson of how alone the spirit of Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai allows it to go. And this is going to be an update on the food shortages. Alright. And Lord wills, brothers can see on the screen. I have this article here from The Economist. All right, and this article was put up May 19th, 2022. Today's date is May 29th, 2022, year of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai turning up. So this article has a little dust on it. And I'm pretty sure all the brothers out there have seen it. I know a lot of brothers were speaking on it. A lot of YouTubers were speaking on it as well. Alternative media guys speaking on it as well. But I just want to do something real quick on it. Again, it's from The Economist magazine, which is a Rothschild-owned magazine. So anytime this magazine speaks or anything involving the elites of Edom, you got to pay attention to it. All right, it says the coming food catastrophe. All right, I just looked up that word catastrophe real quick.
Catastrophe.
And it means an event causing great and often sudden damage or suffering. A disaster, right? And a food shortage is definitely a disaster. Notice the time of Jacob's trouble, or the time of Jacob's trouble consists of a lot of things, but one of the most devastating things about Jacob's trouble is a famine. All right, the lack of bread and water. All right, really one of the most devastating things about Jacob's trouble. All right, but again, Jacob's trouble can consist of many perils, but one of the greatest perils that's going to be in Jacob's trouble is famine. A lack of food. All right. So it says, let's go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and read some of it. As you can see, it's with Elder Tahar. I mean, come on, man. Elder Tahar did a video about that a few days ago, about the 10-week, which now is shorter. The 10 weeks of the 10 weeks. They only have 10 weeks worth of wheat left in the world. All right, and wheat is made with a lot of things. You can see on the screen, it's wheat with skulls in it. All right, it says by invading Ukraine, Vladimir Putin, which they're blaming all this on that, which is really, if you know what's really going on behind that. They're blaming everything on that: the food shortages, the inflation, the gas prices. They're blaming everything on the war in Ukraine. All right, which really is due to the inflation, really. All right, and the lockdowns and things like that. Another thing, that's what is really causing all these problems. But they're blaming it on the boogeyman Vladimir Putin and Mother Russia. All right, it says will destroy the lives of people far from the battlefield, and on the scale even. And some of this has something to do with it because what's out there. They're saying that basically Russia is doing a blockade on Ukraine supplies. All right. Which a blockade is a direct act of war, but basically that's what they're doing. So it might have something to do with the real reason why is due to the LD that happened when the Big C happened. All right, farmers wasn't allowed to grow; they were being paid to destroy their crops, and the inflation, really. And they might take the video down, but oh well. On the scale, even he may regret this war is baffling a global food system weakened by this Big C. Well, at least they're admitted that. Climate change and energy shock. Ukraine exports of grain and oil seeds have mostly stopped, and Russia are threatened together. Two countries supply 12% of the trade. I thought it froze up again. Slovakia. Wheat prices up 53% since the start of the year. Jump a future 6% on May 16th after India said it would suspend exports because of an alarming heat wave. And that's maybe due to the HART program. No, this is all done by design, really through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. All right, the widely accepted idea of the cost of living crisis does not begin to capture the grain of what may lie ahead. Antonio Guterres, if I pronounced that right, the UN Secretary General, warned on May 18th that the coming months threaten the scepter of a global food shortage that could last for years. The high cost of staple foods has already risen the number of people who cannot be sure of getting enough to eat by 44 OMs to 1.6 billion. I guess that's billion. Nearly 250 are on the brink of famine. As if likely the war drags on, the supply from Russia and Ukraine are limiting hundreds of millions of people. Hundreds of millions more people could fall into poverty. Political unrest will spread. Children will be stunned, and people will starve. All right, and again, Jacob's trouble, man. One of the main things that Jacob's trouble consists of, one of the main perils that's going to happen in Jacob's trouble is a food shortage. All right, a shortage of food. That's why in Esdras it speaks about spoiling one another's houses for the lack of bread. People breaking into people's houses for food, killing people for food. All right, and so on and so forth. This is Jeremiah. So like in Jeremiah chapter 30 verse 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he should be saved out of it. Who's the he? The elect. All right. The scriptures say in Job the 5th chapter, and famine, the an elect, an elect person of the nation of Israel is going to laugh. All right. In famine. All right. But one of the main perils that Jacob's trouble consists of is a famine. All right. A lack of getting food. Trouble or a hard time trying to get food. Matter of fact, let's get that in Job. It's Job chapter 5. It's like it. Job chapter 5 verse 19. Job chapter 5 verse 19. He should like it. Job chapter 5 verse 19. He should deliver thee in 6 troubles. Yea, in 7 there should no evil touch thee. Right, which evil means bad. There's a lot of bad times. Jacob's trouble is nothing but a bad time. Jacob's trouble isn't a time of rejoicing. It's a bad time. All right. Now the elect is going to be rejoicing because we see it coming to pass, and we know we need it to come to pass in order to get the kingdom of heaven. But Jacob's trouble is some rough days, man. All right. But the elect is going to be good. He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles. Yea, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee. Right. In famine he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. Right. The first thing it mentioned was a famine. All right. The first thing it mentioned was a famine. Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of the destruction when it cometh. At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beast of the earth. Right? Because again, the scriptures speak about spirits created for vengeance. All right, the teeth of wild beasts, and so on and so forth. The sword, which is Esau, and the ultimate sword, which is the nuclear missile. All right, but famine, that famine, man, is grievous. It's better for you to get your head chopped off or get your brains blew out by a shotgun than to suffer from a famine, to starve to death. That's a horrible death, a horrible and gruesome death, all right, that nobody should want. Because your body eats itself. That's a slow, painful, agonizing death, all right. But the elect is going to be good from those perils. I think, if I ain't mistaken, hold on. Might be mistaken, but I want to see something real quick. Yep, it does say it. Yep. The Sirach chapter 39 verse 28. I figured it said it, but I couldn't remember if it did or not. While y'all was shot. The Sirach chapter 39 verse 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance. Right? And the Lord's going to get vengeance in the time of Jacob's trouble on a lot of our people, in which their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of their destruction, they pour out their force and to please the wrath of him that made them. Fire, hail, and famine, and death, all these were created for vengeance, right? All these were created for vengeance. So, again, Jacob's trouble consists of many things, all right? But one of the main things is a famine. Famine, people starving to death, is a spirit that was created for vengeance, like the scriptures say. Something that the Most High created for vengeance. It's like it. And all these were created for vengeance, right? All these were created for vengeance. All right, which Jacob's trouble is a day of vengeance. And again, if you're not a part of the elect, you could fall the victim to the famine, the teeth of wild beasts, all right, the sword, which is Esau, the martial law troops, all right, the ultimate sword, which is the missile, all right. If you ain't protected by Yahweh, by Shem Yahweh Shah, but one of the main things is famine, man, because you're gonna want to eat, man, all right. People are gonna be turning into animals, all right. The scriptures tell you that people are gonna be spoiling one another's houses, and I'm gonna close up with that for the lack of bread. You have all type of you got people that rob and steal now, but once food is scarce, that's when everybody, imagine everybody in the world, 80% of people in America, or 70% of people in America, or whatever the number may be, all right, breaking in people's houses looking for food, people scavenging the streets for food, all right. That's going to be a devastating time, man, and that's a devastating judgment because if people are hungry, that's the crime is going to increase, murder rate is going to go up, all right, going to skyrocket, man. So these are serious times, man. All right. That's why it's right to get right with Yahweh Shai, the gods of the King James Bible, the true names of the gods of the King James Bible. This Sirach chapter 15, Salakia, 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 19. And man shall have no pity. Right? Nobody ain't gonna have no pity. Cause why? Because they're gonna be hungry. People are gonna be hungry, man. And this is gonna be global. Jacob's trouble is global because Jacob is scattered everywhere. All right. So it's not just gonna be here in Babylon, but it's gonna be global. Pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, right, guns or whatever, and spoil their goods which means to take because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So people are going to lose their mind. People that are in class A criminals, or people that, the average person out there that gets up, got a 9 to 5, got a house, got a car, they're going to turn into criminals, man. They're going to turn into murderers. Why? Because they're going to want food. They're going to be hungry. All right. And again, imagine 70% or 80% or 99% or whatever the number may be of people in the street scavenging for food, man, in America. People in America have no discipline like that, man. People in America, if they can't get their way, going to turn into animals, man. Quick. Better believe it. They're going to turn into... You see how... Look how niggas react. People react when they can't get a pair of shoes. People that got put to death, or people been killed because they couldn't get the pair of shoes they want. So how much more food? All right? So these are serious times, man. All right? These are some deadly serious times. Jacob's trouble, when the Lord full force brings Jacob's trouble, all right, you're going to see the animal come out of a lot of people, the majority of people in America, man. And it ain't going to be pretty, man. All right? So with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Slaki, Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Dash, double honors to my elders and apostles of great millstone, and peace and safety to the brothers out there pushing this truth and sincerity. And again, the scriptures say seek their creator in the days of thy youth, man. All right, while it's still time, because time is running out. Who knows, tomorrow Esau could come out, say whatever, man. We're in the time of any day could be a dramatic change. Life could change dramatically here in America. They had Memorial Day weekend this week. Gas is sky high and all that stuff. People still was, hanging out, taking trips. They could come out tomorrow or sometime next week and say, we only got, due to the people traveling and all that, we only got, on the East Coast, we only got 8 days, 10 to 8 days worth of fuel supply or diesel or whatever. All right? Because the stores had to get full too because people were planning on taking trips and people were barbecuing and stuff like that. And they come out and say, well, due to all this and that, there's a shortage on food and all that. I mean, it's a shortage on gas and diesel. It's got, which it already is, but it's gotten worse. All right? And what does that do? Especially with no diesel. No diesel means what? No food is getting to the stores. All right? So again, this word resonates with your spirit, get right with Yahweh Shai. And with that, I'm going to say shalom.